Hi everyone, this is Shanea O'Connor with TrueBloodFansource.com, and I'm here to talk with you about episode 59 or episode 511, Sunset of True Blood Season 5, that aired last night on HBO. But before I do, I just want to thank everyone who donated to Kristin Bauer Van Straten's Kickstarter out for Africa. She raised just a little bit over $64,000. And if you were on Twitter and you follow us on Twitter or Facebook the other night, I did a last minute giveaway as an incentive to get people to donate. I offered up a copy of True Blood Season 4 on Blu-ray with the combo pack, and I was able to pick a winner. So congratulations to April. I don't know if you watched this, but congratulations for winning. And let me know, you guys, if you're interested in kind of some spontaneous contests, because I'm more than willing to do them. I just want to know if there's kind of interest in them, because if we get interest, then I'll do it, but I've had a few other contests where there haven't been as much, so I just want to make sure. Moving on to the episode opened with Bill seeing Lilith, and you're kind of left with the feeling that you don't know whether she's actually coming to them or if they're just hallucinating. But Bill gets chosen by Lilith, and he sort of doesn't believe it at first, but he sees her twice, and he doesn't realize it until later. But Lilith is basically appearing to all of the Chancellors with the exception of Rosalind, Nora, and Eric. So she's setting up for this game of survival, as Stephen Moyer says. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how the season is sort of wrapping up, because we've seen the human storylines sort of wrap up. I mean, Lafayette had like one line this episode, and Terry and Arlene were very happy with each other. So it's really just focusing on the authority, what's going on there, and then with the fairies. Although Andy, poor Andy, he's got a great thing going with Holly, and then he says to her boys, oh, I'll stick by your mother as long as she'll have me. And then all of a sudden Marilla shows up and announces that she's pregnant, and she wants Andy to protect her, and Andy's sort of taken by surprise. And at first he doesn't want to do it because, he can barely believe that she's pregnant and it's his, and they only had sex a week ago. But I think that he will, not only because she's threatening him with war, but also because he's a good guy. But in doing that, it will cause some conflict between him and Holly. Speaking of the fairies, Sookie sought the help of the fairy elder to try to find out more about Warlow and her parents' death and why she was given to him. And so she rallies the fairies after finding out that information. She's like, you know what? Russell Edgington might be coming for me, but I'm not going to sit there and take it. Although I'm kind of confused as to why this fairy elder went to confront Russell, who's 3,000 years old at the end of this, thinking that she could take him, because nobody can take Russell Edgington, really. It takes a lot to get him and a lot of planning. You can't just go out and get him. And so as a result, she dies. The second fairy to die on True Blood after Claudine, who died last season at the hand of Eric. So she is dead. Now Russell can see the fairy club, that sort of like invisibility cloak thing that they had doesn't work anymore. So that's a big problem, because Russell wants the fairy blood. and Jason led them right to it after being glamored. And so it's just a big mess of problems, as if Jason doesn't have enough of his own. Before that, we saw him get into conflict with Jessica, who tried to save him by mock turning him, and said how much she loved him, and it didn't work. And on top of that, for her, Bill was very cruel to her. I mean, granted, she was trying to manipulate him, but he's really changed with this authority thing for the worst. And I hope that he gets better. I hope, I think that he will maybe start seeing the light at the very end of the episode, but not before he loses everything. I mean, he lost, at the end of this episode, he loses Jessica because he throws her across the room, and Jessica's terrified of him. And as it was, she was already hiding in Fantasia after she tried to turn Jason and it failed. And she was able to hide there, of course, because she told Pam that she knew where Eric was. So she told Pam what happened, or what was happening in the authority. And Pam is not too happy about it. She's already had to deal with Tara, and she's already sort of rattled by that because Tara killed Elijah. And even though she's proud of her, that's still going to have ramifications in what's going to happen. Eric is not there, so she really is on her own. So as we see later, when Rosalind comes in and reveals that Elijah was one of 204 progeny, dear God, 204. Pam sticks up for Tara and says, I did it. I think she does it because she wants to protect Tara, but I also think that she also wants to go find Eric. But Eric isn't there because he's gone off with Nora. They've finally escaped the authority because he killed General Kavanaugh, and that kind of gives him a way out of the authority with Nora. But he's going to have to come back and help out Pam, who's in jail now. But the good news, at least in terms of Eric, is that now he has his sister back on his side. Nora finally saw that this thing with Lilith was not what she wanted, and it was kind of interesting because she gives Salome a kiss when she's talking to her about General Kavanaugh's visit and how she thinks that the path of Lilith is the right way to go, but she gives her a kiss on the lips, and it's sort of a kind of a biblical allusion, because Judas did that to Jesus. Not that Salome is Jesus, but I thought that was sort of a nice callback there, if that's what they were intending. But yeah, so Nora's like, I'm done. She has sex with Eric and apologizes to him. I really didn't see the need for the sex, but whatever. But Alexander Skarsgård naked, I can't really complain too much. So they go off together, and they're finding, they're doing whatever it is, but Nora discards her authority necklace, which symbolizes that she's done for good. So yay, they're done with that part, but not before things start getting intense. Bill kills Koibe, the African chancellor, when he says that he saw Lilith, like, brutally kills him. Like, it's kind of like, oh my God. So Bill's really going to extremes, and I think it's going to be between him and Salome, and it's not going to be really fun. Speaking of not fun, Sam and Luna are now trapped in the authority. They found Emma, and Sam agrees to go be Senator Chancellor Compton's breakfast. So hopefully maybe that will trigger something in Bill. I don't know if it will, but we hope. And poor Luna stuck behind bars with all of the rest of the naked people trying to make sure that her kid is okay. But what I loved is that Sam and Pam pass each other in the hall and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" I thought that was funny. Also because Kristin and Sam Trammell have said that they've never had a scene together since season 2, and now they have that short passing scene, and I kind of appreciated that. So they have a scene now. Yeah, it was kind of a big, huge episode. I can't even wrap my head around it all. It's getting, like I said, the authority is getting a little bit ridiculous, but I'm glad that, as we see in the episode preview of Save Yourself, which is now up on truebloodfansource.com, that Jason is there and a bunch of other people are there. So it really gets a lot of the cast members involved in that aspect. The other aspect, and I don't know how they're going to integrate Alcide into this, is Alcide was staying with his dad, and there's obviously some conflict there, but they killed some baby vamps together who were running around where they lived, and they defended their neighbors and such. So I don't know how that will play into things, but hopefully Alcide will kind of join into the story somehow with the rest of the cast. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the Sookie Barry Russell thing kind of ends up, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how things go with the authority. I mean, I was getting really annoyed at how religious everything's been getting, especially after they just point blank killed General Kavanaugh. After he says, "Dude, I have you guys on tape," Steve and Russell killing people. Like, Russell Edgington's alive, and if something happens to me, this thing's going to go viral. So he's dead, and that's probably going to go viral. There's probably going to be this huge mess. But like I said, I'm glad that the rest of the cast is there because it kind of provides some diversity out for that storyline, and it's focused on religion, but not so much because all these characters will be fighting for what they need. In Sam and Luna's case, it's Emma. In Pam's case, she wants to fight for herself, for Tara, and for Eric. For Jessica, she's gonna try to go back to Pam, and I have a feeling that she might see Pam. She might join her in the cell. I wonder what's going to happen to Tara in this scene, in this last episode, if she's going to go try to find Pam. But yeah, it should be interesting. And I have all of the videos up on the site right now, so I hope that you enjoy those. I will be posting preview clips later on this week. And I will be also heading to Atlanta on Saturday, so I will be recording that video blog from Atlanta in preparation for DragonCon. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the week, that you'll check out truebloodfansource.com, and I thank you for watching the show. See you next week.